Well, good evening, everybody. It's that time of the week again. Actually, it's Monday night instead of Friday night to review what we just had from the Monaco Grand Prix. How are you this evening, Andy?
Not too bad. Obviously, there's a lot to discuss about what's happened this weekend. It was definitely eventful, as in, well, the racing wasn't that eventful, but there was a lot of things that happened before that we need to talk about. But before we get into this and we bring our guest on, it is broke in the last couple of hours that Max Mosley, former FIA chairman, has unfortunately passed away at the age of 81. Very, very sad news. Did a lot for the sport. And obviously everybody here at the racing line, condolences go to the family. It's unfortunately, it's just one of them things that are happening at the minute. We are unfortunately losing people that have done a lot for the sport.
Yeah, definitely. I think obviously he's with myself. He was very much a part of my growing up with F1. Obviously, there's different guys who've been in that position over the years, and Ballesteros obviously was sort of before him. Obviously, Mosley, he's been the main one for me. Always a really good sort of whenever anyone's interviewed him or wants to sort of have a chat with him, he's always come across really, really well. So yeah, really sad to see him pass, to be fair.
Yeah, it is. But like I say, all our condolences go to the family, and I'm sure there'll be many tributes going out to him in the coming week. So we had a Grand Prix this weekend, which was the Monaco Grand Prix. I'm going to bring on our guest. I actually watched this with our guest, Martin. How are you, Martin?
Very well, thank you very much. You two guys all right?
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, good, thanks.
Yeah, Monaco Grand Prix. Obviously, we all watched it. Me and yourself there, Martin. We watched it together, and we
did indeed.
Praying for rain.
We were praying for rain, especially the last few laps when it just got, let's face it, it was a bit of a procession. And then, I thought, come on, bit of rain now, let's liven things up. But hey ho, it wasn't to be, as the Monaco Grand Prix generally isn't, but you can't think it's a tradition of the place, can you, really? It is what it is.
Obviously, we'll move on to Ferrari in a second because we know you're a Ferrari fan, but there was a newish looking car on the grid. So this is the McLaren. This was just for this race. So people I have seen here, I hope they keep it. I'm a fan of that for one race, but I love the papaya because that's their colour as McLaren. But Paul, what did you think of them doing that for the one race?
I think obviously it's a lovely colour. I love the car itself, but I for one race it was really, really good. I think obviously they need to go back to the normal colours. I think I think I always base it on the fact that if they were racing around in that, and then they brought in what they normally race as one race, which one would you prefer? And I think their original colours are sort of a better standard, obviously, for them. But yeah, really liked it. Obviously, we were all, say we all, 2 out of 3 of us are massive McLaren fans here, so anything they do.
Yeah. But we'll talk about Ferrari. Through practice qualifying, they were flying. Looked really good. Leclerc got on pole. Sainz was on third.
Yeah.
And it was nice to see him back at the front. Obviously, Leclerc towards the end had this crash coming out of the swimming pool section, and it ended up being quite detrimental. He wasn't able to start Grand Prix due to a drive shaft failure. Martin, I like I said, I was with you. You were absolutely gutted. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to feel for the guy. All through practice, he was the best. Through qualifying, he was the best. And you know, he's not crashed that car on purpose. No racing driver would crash a car on purpose. And he even came out afterwards, though, a little bit of humour afterwards. He even came out and said, if I was going to do that on purpose, I would have slowed down and chose a different place to do it. So he's not done that on purpose, and you have got to feel sorry for the guy. You know what I mean? You've got to feel sorry for him. He must have been gutted. However, class act at the end when he came out and with embrace with signs at the end, very class act. Other drivers may have just chose to sulk away and not go and show face. Maybe it's because all the Ferrari top bosses were there. Who knows? But he's a young lad, and I think he showed a lot of class there in coming out and being part of the team, because that's what it is at the end of the day. Sainz got bumped up one. Brilliant. I thought Max was a little bit cheeky with Red Bull, trying to get himself onto the pole position so he can get the top of the line into the first corner. A little bit cheeky, but hey, if you don't ask, you don't get. But yeah, happy that Sainz got up there. Nice to see him up there. And obviously with Lando next to him, former teammates, a little bit of banter at the end they had in the pit lane. Quite refreshing to see when drivers are like have a bit of a banter like that. Nice touch. But yeah, good to for Leclerc. I'm sure he'll be back. I think he's got a bright future in front of him.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of a bit of a bittersweet weekend for Ferrari. Obviously, losing one car and only starting with one car, but actually getting onto the podium sweetened what could have been a horrendous weekend for Ferrari. Do you agree with me on that one, Paul?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it was a good. I think it was good signs for Ferrari to obviously get a car on pole. It was really good to see Sainz doing well as well to sort of step into that void. Really, I mean, we all knew that once Max got off the line and he was so aggressive going into that corner, you knew that was it. You knew he wasn't going to let that go. So for me, Ferrari had a really, really good race overall. I know the disappointment with Charlie Boy meant that he didn't obviously get to race, but the confidence it should give him to get that Ferrari on pole when you realise Ferrari haven't been anywhere near. I mean, regardless if it's Monaco or not, they've not been anywhere near, have they? To be fair, so to get those two, obviously get one finishing second and the other one getting on pole, really successful for them. So really good weekend.
I mean, the car's more set up for, like I say, a street circuit kind of thing, isn't it? Obviously, Mercedes had their problems.
Yeah.
They just couldn't cope with it. You know, the next Grand Prix is another street circuit. So you know what I mean? Who knows where Ferrari might get the next Grand Prix?
Ferraris are very good round tracks that are low grip, where Azerbaijan is predominantly low grip, but there is some. So they're going to struggle at some point. Yeah, there's more.
They've got two massive straights, and you've got the two big straights. That's where they're going to struggle. But
still, though, I think you've got to give it to them, though, because it's okay saying that they the track suits the Ferrari. Obviously, they haven't been on point no matter what. So the last few years, it doesn't matter if it was Monaco or if it was Silverstone or if it was
2019. So didn't it? 2019, the last pole we had. So 2 or 3 years in F1's a long time. Not get pole for a team as big as Ferrari. It must be kicking the teeth not getting there, but.
So I think you've got to basically take your hat off to them, and I think I actually think there's been a few drivers. Obviously, we're not going to go into too much with people, but Vettel did quite well as well. Obviously, the Aston Martin, he had a good race.
It's the first time that Aston Martin got a double point score this season, which is. I
also think did I read rightly as well that Vettel got the driver of the race as well? Apparently.
Yeah, apparently so.
He got the driver of the race.
If it was for that overtake that he did on Gasly coming out, he was, like you said, he's on fresh tyres, and just behind Gasly you've got Lewis Hamilton, and to have the bottle, you say like it's a really hard track to overtake. You don't see overtakes going up into Casino Square like that. He showed some absolute bottle, and Gasly was just like, you know what, I'm not even going to try and fight you into that corner, and then that's where Vettel stayed, and it is good. It is good to see Vettel. I mean, you could tell the smile under. I know obviously he's got his face mask on. The smile under his face to be able to hit fifth, and say, look, I am still here. It's nice to see, and it's good. I mean, there's a lot of things that happened that day, but we'll talk about this podium because I think the last time we saw these three on the same teams on the same podium at Monaco was back in 2012. As we mentioned, obviously Max, hats off to you, drove an incredible race. Sainz as well, but Lando there, his third place podium, and to go and do it in a place like that, and he had a bit of squeaky bum time towards the end because Perez was hot on him for about the last 15 laps and showed the maturity.
I think Perez was on his backside for quite, a few laps, but then as soon as he started coming to back marks that traffic, and Lando got round it a lot quicker than Perez did, and once Perez got back to a 2-second gap, it was all over then. But to show like the maturity he showed, just to keep him away for them, just even though a few laps while they were catching the back markers, just Perez was flying around that track, and you never know. Like I say, it's difficult to overtake, but you just don't know.
Yeah,
you don't know the pressure on him with someone behind is different, isn't it?
I mean, I'm a Lando fan, and just like Andy, and really, really well done to him, and I'm so made up the fact he got on the podium. But just as we've echoed, we were talking about this a little bit off camera. The issue we've got with Monaco is that it's one thing catching somebody, it's the next thing overtaking them. That literally you've got that the main.
It's so easy
got the
to
straight.
Yeah,
you got the straight. I mean, the biggest problem I think I found was that you've got the straight, which has got the DRS zone, which doesn't really matter, and then you've got that first corner, and that's where the guys come out from the pit lane. So you're taking out that first corner as well, which doesn't help, which is your overtaking point. So Lando did extremely well, but again, if you're in front,
the pressure of being in front must have its own thing as well. But when you get what was he 8 seconds in front of Sainz? Yeah. He's got no one behind him. He's under no pressure. Long as he didn't put a wheel wrong, which he didn't. You know what I mean? It was a fantastic race by Max all the way there. Lando showing that bit of maturity to keep Perez behind him. Nice to see the Red Bull up there actually supporting his mates. You know what I mean? That's quite a thing, keeping them away as well. Even if it is Monaco. I mean, like I said, we were discussing about Monaco not overtaking. And maybe I'm just thinking for one race only, dumb them cars down. Stop them going so fast. Just stop them going so fast. Dumb them down a bit. Dumb the engines down a bit. A bit more racing back into it. Whether they'll do it, I don't know. They'll never do it because obviously Monaco's Monaco. It's predominantly it's a showpiece, isn't it? Let's face it. It is a showpiece.
It's always been on the calendar apart from last year. And another thing is it's such a prestigious race because it's part of the Triple Crown, which is where you have to win an Indy 500, a Le Mans 24, and the Monaco Grand Prix. So it will never disappear.
No. There's a lot of talk on Facebook about it,
guys. Just want to do a quick shout out to Marilyn. Obviously, it's not coming up on it's coming up on Facebook user, unfortunately, just with StreamYard. But one of our group members. Nice to see you comment. Great to see you watching the show. More comments would be great from obviously anyone who wants us to answer any questions.
What team does she follow? What team do they follow? Marilyn, what team do they follow? Come on, let us know. Let us know what team you are.
Come on, bring it up.
What team you are. Yeah. Bring it up. Come on, get on there.
I do want to just touch on one thing because we didn't get much coverage of it, but George Russell, obviously, we give him the praise when he does well. What happened? Obviously, he was it 14th? He came in. Was it quite far down? Wasn't it? Any sort of thoughts on George and what happened? Is it set too far with Monaco? Obviously.
No, it's the car. It's always going to be the car for it. It's always going to be the car for him because the thing is, what's the advantage for George Russell? We've seen what he can do in a Mercedes, like the works Mercedes. We've seen what he can do. The car's just not there. It's going to take a long time for Williams to get back up to where you expect Williams to be. I'm never going to just blame the driver. I mean, he's kind of at the minute pushing a pram around tracks. That's all he's doing at the minute, and hopefully one day he gets a better drive because we've seen it, haven't we? So we know what he's capable of. It's just, but
he had the best race helmet of the day, though. That race helmet he had on was quality. Yeah, that was very good. I watched the program the day before with him, and he was explaining about his helmet and whatnot, and it just looked like a thingy with him. Yeah, it was good. But I think with him, like I say, he needs cutting his teeth at Williams, and he just wants a better ride, better car. Will he get it? Who knows? hopefully he will. You know, again, young talent coming through. Williams ain't the car for him. Williams ain't Williams anymore like it used to be. Never going to be dominant. So maybe time will tell his next step.
Never say never, Martin.
Never say never. Never. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, I shouldn't say things like that. Yeah, maybe his next step though for Williams would be. Does he go to Aston Martin and just slowly work his way up, or does he just go? You know what?
To Mercedes. Mercedes is his next stop, surely.
Or does he just go? Does he just go straight Mercedes? You know, and get in there.
He's got a bit of like, you know how Lando and Zach Brown have that relationship with each other. Obviously, they're both at the same team. George has that relationship with Toto as well because he's a Mercedes academy driver. So they have said to him, "The seat, it's coming to you. It is coming to you." When you know, why are you going to take two top drivers away and replace at the minute? I mean, obviously, one of them top drivers, Bottas, is.
Have we got the conspiracy photo coming up? Come on.
What? I couldn't believe it. Did you know what though, guys? Can I just say so? His wheel is still on. I read it today. They've not managed to get his wheel off. They're going to have to take it back to the factory, and they're literally going to have to cut that nut off. They still cannot get that wheel off the car. It's still there. I read the thing today from the chief mechanic. He said we can't get it off. It's just stuck. It's just that. It's just one of them things where the nut, and it was explained that the nut's like the dome thing, and it just grabbed it in the wrong place and just sheared the teeth off it, and that was it. Game over. Game over. That wheel's not coming off. Yeah, of all people, and you could see him. You could see him on the leaderboard. He was just going ding, 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 and you're thinking, oh my god. Really? And then he just gets out of the car and he's like, he must have felt like kicking that car or kicking something.
Yeah.
He really must have done.
I posted something on Facebook in the week about how technical and they don't use millimeters, it's microns, and they're in 0.01 of a micron on everything. This is Mercedes, and I posted this saying, wow, that's scary how the tiniest little measurement is. It's smaller, they work smaller than your own hair. And then they got this wrong. And I'm like, oh, I better not post anything about Mercedes for weekends anymore. I mean,
you just think it's just a wheel nut, but like I said, these guys can get things on and off the machine in like 2.5 seconds. And like I said, they put it on the wrong angle, which I don't know what happened, but apparently like I said, he just caught it, ripped the two things off when it grabs, and that were it. It was just spinning. Nothing you can do. How many guns you change makes no difference. That wheel was not.
But how many times has that happened before?
I can't remember it ever happening.
No,
not getting a wheel stuck like that. I mean, yeah, it took them a while to get it off, but never actually seizing on like that.
No,
I've seen wheel nut failures, as in
wheels coming off.
Wheel nuts come off.
Wheels coming off.
Yeah.
But in the pit lane, yes, it might take them a while to get it.
Yeah,
but yeah, it was just you just sit there watching it, thinking, "Oh my god!"
You know, leading up to it, did he not? I mean, I didn't hear it, but I don't know where I've heard the comment. But did he not leading up to it, say that he felt there was a problem with the front left?
Basically, he said he was feeling a bit of vibration. Obviously, you're going to feel a bit of vibration because that's not on right. So that means that because they start on their quali tyres, don't they?
Yeah.
So that car wasn't right going to the grid. So it was from that, you know what I mean? That really is scary. Are
they not allowed to touch the car at all? Can they not?
They can take the tyres off and keep them in tyre blankets, but they have to put the same quality tyres back on.
Yes, that means that so obviously when it got put on at the point of when it was being rolled onto the grid, that's when it's failed.
It must have gone wrong. Yeah, it must have gone wrong somewhere there. Some mechanics getting a good shoe in, let's put it that way.
Regardless of that, would have Bottas won the Monaco Grand Prix? Would have Max? I think personally?
No. Max was too far gone. So he was too far gone.
I think the only person apart from Vettel, when I saw the Vettel move, the only bit of actual. This is going to sound really harsh now. The only bit of proper aggressive racing I saw in the whole race was when Max did that first corner shut off with Sainz. He just literally cut him out. He just went, "You're not going past me." Everybody else then was almost like they were just too cautious. They just didn't want to crash the car. They didn't want to. It's almost like they saw what Charles did obviously the day before in qualifying, and they were like, and that's what they were commenting, that normally they're brushing it.
Yeah, the first few laps. To be fair,
they constantly brush that wall all the time and hit it.
To be fair, the first few laps, the cars were all kind of bunched up, but then after about 10, 15 laps, the gap started to come then, and your back markers getting involved again. And
they started laughing at lap 24. They started laughing at each other at lap 24. I think I said it to you, didn't I? I was like, right, 5 laps. Look at that graphic down there. It looks like they're really far apart. They're not. I said, give it 5 laps, and they'll be lapping one another.
Well, I was waiting for that. I was waiting for the lap, obviously the lap cars to try and sort of mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, cause a bit of aggro on the back. No, they were all too polite. If they all pulled over, they all let him. Even Mazepin let him go. And what was it? You know what I mean? If he starts letting people go, you're thinking, well, they don't want to crash that car, do they?
Even the
driver of the day for you, Mazepin, on the smallest track, somehow hasn't crashed.
Yeah, he had no room to spin. That's why he had no room to spin. He had no room.
He'd have got wedged, wouldn't he? He'd have wasted himself. He'd have been like that ship in the Suez Canal, wouldn't he?
Look at so. By the way, this is the first time for a long time we haven't had a Mercedes driver on top of the pile. This guy couldn't get it right this weekend, could he? At all. He did. I don't think he didn't gain a place, and he got marred. He got quite marred.
Oh, he got marred. He got marred. But you are, I'm gonna. Let's just face this guy's a winner, and what do winners do? They don't want to lose, and he's got the right to get marred. And like I say, his arrogance shows through him. Maybe he's old enough to be marred. You know, he does want to finish 7th. He wants to be on that podium. And when Mercedes get the order, Mercedes get it wrong, he's got a right to question Mercedes and say, "You've got it wrong. You've ruined my race." You've got your strategy all wrong. Apparently they changed it just before. They had it all set up as they got one strategy, and just before it started, they changed it. It's like, well, he questioned them. Well, why have you done that? Why have you changed it?
Yeah, it's happened before though with Lewis, that when you know when he's not gonna have a good race, because you can feel the demeanour coming from him. And you're right, he's a winner. Okay, rightly or wrongly, he's arrogant to basically be that point where he expects to be challenging. He's
kind of earned that right to be arrogant. He's earned his right to be arrogant.
He's got the
saying
right
it in a stupid way,
He's got the right to ask that question. Why was Bottas's car more competitive than my car? Because it wasn't. It was off the mark all weekend. It wasn't. Did not look comfortable at all.
I don't think it was Lewis, though. I don't think it was Lewis who was off the mark. It was the car, and it ultimately came crashing down on him when he got he got his pit stop, didn't he? And then Perez was in front of him, and that was the moment. That was the moment where he knew. Nah, I can only get. Obviously, I'm done. Yeah, I can only literally drive around. If you want to share electric track, I can go round, and that's what
he came on the radio, and this is where when Vettel came out of the pits and had that ding dong with Gasly going up into Casino. He was on the radio saying, "Why am I still behind these two? I don't get it. Like what's gone wrong here?" And that's what I mean. I'm not being funny. Like, you guys own cars, right? You're not going to have a car and you feel something in it, or it's being sluggish. You're going to go back to the manufacturer and go, "Well, what's wrong with this? Why is it not performing to what you told me it's going to perform?" He knows his car's good. But it wasn't good this weekend. So something's gone.
He'll come back though. You know he's coming back though. Next race he's going to be mad for that next race. He's going to be so angry.
Do you know what it is? And this is the thing which with Max. Okay, Max could have won that race with his eyes shut. Okay, he wasn't. He was in the best car for that track with the cleanest amount of space on a track you can't overtake on. So it's not as if basically you're going to turn around and go, right, Max has shown real skill here. Max has shown what he's all about to be a champion. He's ready to be a champion. That's not the track he's done it on. If he'd done it on a Silverstone, or he'd done it at say Albert Park or somewhere like that, a proper sort of obviously proper track where you have to overtake, you have to sort of but Lewis will just brush it down and go, do you know what?
Yeah. Jack, I can make a prediction here, guys. the next race, Lewis will either win it or he'll stack his car up because he'll be trying that hard to win it. He'll either stack it or he'll win it, and I don't think he'll stack it. I think he'll blitz him. He'll blitz him next time. He'll be on pole, or if he's not on pole, he'll get up on that podium in first place.
He likes that track. He likes that track. It's a speedy track. Those two straights. Is it two straights, isn't it?
Yeah, I had looked at it. It's weird.
Very big straights as well.
Like a child's drawing of a man.
But that was our review. Paul, where are we off this weekend? Well, this Saturday.
Yeah, we're being let out. Obviously, COVID's been lifted, so therefore,
you're going out.
We're being let out, aren't we? We're going off to Donington Park. I don't know if you've got a graphic up to sort of.
I have to go and look at Donington Park, but this is what we're going to go and see.
Yeah. Which
is the Classic Sports Car Club. So there's going to be a lot of different cars.
Please tell me they've got minis there. Do they have minis racing?
Yeah, they have all sorts. It's honestly, there's like 15 different classes. It's a bit of a monster event in a way that there's so much going on. But yeah, we're going to be going out there doing our own content. Obviously a bit like this, but we're actually going to go and do our own filming content. So anyone dares try and copyright us, you'll have us to deal with.
Andy, just be careful where you put that. Just be careful where you put Callum's tripod, Andy. He wants it back, you know. Don't put it near the track and get smashed into. You're not that good a cameraman.
if I'm that near to the track, mate, I'll be getting it.
Don't be sneaking on the track, putting it up there just for that shot.
This is the first of hopefully many times we'll be actually allowed to go
really excited.
It's
really excited.
Depends if your wife let you out or not. Depends if the missus lets you out.
Yeah, well, no, we have to take them next time. The smell of petrol and burning rubber and the noise and Donington's an amazing track. But keep an eye out on the racing line because obviously we're going to test it out for the first time, and we'll probably put something up once we've nailed what we want to do with it. But giddy now, it's only Monday.
I know. I just weather looks good as well, so hopefully we're not going to get rained on or anything. So, but it will just be a good day just to get out there. Hopefully we can try and get in and around the paddock as well.
And if there's any of you that are on the racing line that are going to this on Saturday, I might be clutching at a bit of straws here, but if you are, you know what we look like. Come and see us. Come and have a chat with us. And if you want to do a little bit on the videos, we'll be more than happy to do that. Yeah. But if not, just keep posting and waiting for us to put stuff up.
Hey, listen here, you two guys. If you don't blag your way into that pitch, you're not motorsport fans. Get blagging into that pitch. Just go. Do you know who I am? Just get a clipboard and a pen and walk down the screen. Do you know who I am? You're getting anywhere. Trust me. Mate, flag it.
Have you got a high-vis jacket?
I'm sure I could. Yeah, actually, I think we have. Actually, some more. I think I have.
You've got a high-vis jacket, so I think get in.
That's it. Get yourself flagged in there.
Yeah, but yeah.
Whoa. We've forgotten something like we always do. We always do this, don't we, guys? We've got predictions for the next race. Who we're going to basically go for. What do we do? Do we go qualifying? Do we go pole? Do we go... What do we do?
No, go for the end result.
End result. So, guess Martin. Top three.
I've just said it. It's going to be Lewis, followed by Max, and I'm going to go Ferrari. I'm going to go Leclerc. It's going to be a bit annoying. He's going to go for it. I'll let Leclerc might be on third, but it's going to be Lewis's race.
Andy?
Max, Lewis, Sainz.
Interesting. I'm going to go with Lewis, Max, and I think Bottas will basically get. I think he'll put that on third because I think there'll be a little bit of aggression going in him as well.
Yeah,
I think there'll be somewhere. Bottas always comes good at certain races, and I think
That's
he will do with
if
him.
he got his wheeler. That's if he got his new wheel back on by then.
If he can get it on, yeah, get it.
It all depends. It might still be on there.
Oh, forgot to say this actually. Mercedes launching an investigation into Red Bull's flexi rear wing that's going to be going up against the FIA because they think it's gaining them something of 0.09 tenths of a second per lap. So that's going under investigation as we speak. Paula does it to them. So, Toto's going to do it back. If you're gaining that much speed, they're going to investigate it, aren't they? So, be interesting. But, thank you, Martin, obviously, for coming on. Paul, as always, everyone that's watched and liked this video, this will be going up on our YouTube. Don't forget to, obviously, like, share, and subscribe.
Look below.
All down there. And we've still got a competition going on. So, go and have a look on our pages. And see how you can get yourself involved in that. But it's night from me.
Night from me. We will catch you soon. We'll see you soon. Thanks,
Enjoy your
Martin.
weekend.
Cheers. Thank you.